You're right at the finish line. You've done the work. The promotion is yours. The business is finally scaling, or the weight is finally coming off. And right then, right when victory is within your reach, you blow it up. You ghost the gym. You pick a fight with your wife over absolutely nothing. You procrastinate on the final proposal until the quality completely tanks and your client walks. Most guys call that bad luck. They say the world is against them. They look for external reasons why the deal fell through or the relationship imploded. But deep down, you know the truth, because the call is coming from inside the house. You aren't losing because you're incapable. You're losing because you're operating on corrupted software. You're trying to drive a high-performance vehicle with the e-brake pulled up. Now you're wondering why the engine is smoking. Today, we aren't doing therapy. We aren't talking about hustling harder or waking up at 4 a.m. to take an ice bath or do 45 minutes of journaling. I'm going to give you the actual mechanical understanding of why you self-sabotage. It's based on 3 principles: mind, consciousness, and thought. Now, we're going to fix that misunderstanding that causes you to systematically destroy your own progress. We're going to talk about why you don't need to add anything to your life. You need to reboot the system to get back to who you actually are. Do you really want to die this way? Stalled out and frustrated by your own hand? If not, pay attention. If you're new here, we talk about practical strategies to build mental toughness and unshakable confidence, but not the way you've been told. Here's the reality of self-sabotage. It's not a character flaw. You're not broken. It's not a lack of discipline. It is a case of mistaken identity caused by bad programming. Now, the self-help industry has lied to you. They operate on an outside-in model. They tell you that you're an empty vessel that needs to be filled with strategies, habits, routines. They act like you are broken and they sell you the glue. That's false. You're not broken. You've simply been programmed with a virus. Now, think about your life. From the moment you could understand language, you were being programmed. Your parents, your teachers, your friends, society at large, they all uploaded their fears, their limitations, and their misunderstandings directly into your hard drive. They told you that your worth is tied to your salary. They told you that failure is dangerous. You have to earn your peace of mind. If you can be programmed this way, the good news is you can be reprogrammed, or better yet, you can wipe the drive. In the Identity Reboot program, we operate on this premise. You don't need new software installed. You need a system restore. You need to return to your factory settings. Now think about a newborn baby. Does a baby have imposter syndrome? Does a baby hesitate before crying for food because it's worried about market conditions? No. We're born with innate wisdom, with resilience, with confidence. That's your default state. Now, over time, you didn't lose that. You just buried it under layers of other people's thinking. You covered your windshield with mud, and now you're driving blind. Well, today, I'm going to hand you the wiper fluid. And we're going to look at this through the lens of 3 principles. That is the understanding that allows you to stop feeling your programming and start living your own damn life. To fix the machine, you have to look at the schematic. You operate based on 3 universal principles: mind, consciousness, and thought. Mind is the energy behind life. It's the intelligence that beats your heart and spins the planets. Consciousness is your awareness. It's the fact that you exist and you know you exist. It's the screen. And then there's thought. Thought is the software. Thought is the special effects department. Here's where the glitch happens. Here's where the programming takes over. You have thousands of thoughts a day. Most of them are just the echo of that old programming, like, did I leave the stove on? Or what if I get fired? Or do I look fat in a shirt? These thoughts are temporary. They are energy passing through your consciousness. They have no power on their own. But you've been taught by a confused society that your thoughts are real. You've been taught that your thoughts are you. So when a thought pops up and says, you aren't good enough to handle this promotion, that isn't truth. That is a recording from 1995. That is something a teacher, a parent, an ex-girlfriend said, echoing in your mind. But because you don't recognize it as a recording, you treat it like a breaking news report. You grab it, you pull it close, you analyze the fuck out of it. That moment that you engage with that thought, consciousness brings it to life. You start to feel it physically. Your stomach tightens, your heart races, your palms sweat. Now you're in a state of insecurity. And because you don't understand that this feeling is coming from a rogue program, you look at the world and you say, oh, the world is scary, or that promotion is dangerous. So what do? You sabotage. You pull back to protect yourself from danger that doesn't exist anywhere except in your own program. So you think you're reacting to reality. You aren't. You're reacting to a special effect you created 5 seconds ago based on data that is 20 years old. So how do we fix this right now? How do you stop the sabotage before it wrecks the deal? You have to change your relationship with your feelings. You have to learn to read the dashboard correctly. Most men use their feelings as a barometer for the world. If they feel anxious, they assume the situation is high stakes. If they feel angry, they assume someone wronged them and now you're in a knife fight. I want you to flip that. Your feelings are not telling you about the world. Your feelings are a dashboard indicator telling you about the quality of your thinking in any exact moment. Think of it like the check engine light in your car. When that light comes on, what do? Do you get out of the car and start smashing the engine with a hammer? Do you drive faster to outrun the light? No. You ease off the gas, you recognize there's an issue under the hood. When you feel stress, anxiety, pressure, that's your check engine light. It's telling you, warning, you're currently engaging with insecure program thought. Your perception is distorted. The sabotage happens because you ignore the light. You feel the anxiety, and instead of backing off, you press the gas. You try to figure it out. You over-prepare. You overanalyze. You send that passive-aggressive email. But here's the fix. When the light comes on, do nothing. Now, I know that sounds insane to a high performer. You want a tactic. You want a sword to fight the dragon, but you can't fight a thought. Fighting a negative thought just gives it more energy. It's like trying to smooth out rough water with an iron. The more you do it, the more turbulence you actually create. Now, when you recognize that your stress is coming from your programming and not your job, you naturally lose interest in that thought. You stop feeding it. And do you know what happens to a thought when you stop feeding it? Yeah, it dies. It passes. And what's left behind? Clarity, wisdom, your factory settings. This brings us to the core of identity reboot. We need to distinguish between two voices in your head, the ego and wisdom. Now, self-sabotage is purely an ego function. And what is the ego? It's just the collection of all that external program. The ego is the voice of your history. It's the voice of your parents' fears, society's expectations, and your past failures. It's the one screaming, what if? It sounds urgent. It sounds important. If this mindset was installed by your family, friends, and life, that's actually good news. It's proof. Because if it was programmed in, it can be programmed out. And we help you identify the malware so you can uninstall it. When you stop respecting your insecure thoughts, they lose their power. The imposter syndrome dissolves. Not because you became better, but because you saw through the illusion. You realize the imposter was just a shadow puppet you were making with your own hands. You don't need to be fixed. You need to settle down. When the mind settles, the water clears. And when the water clears, you can see the bottom. You know exactly what to do. That is the state where high performance actually happens effortlessly. That is the state where self-sabotage is impossible because you're acting from clarity, not fear. So here's your protocol for the next week. This is how you stop the bleeding. We need to talk about speed. The modern world tells you to speed up, to grind, to hustle, to force. That is the recipe for sabotage. When you speed up your thinking, you lose contact with reality. You're running on adrenaline and cortisol. The answer is to slow down. Now, I'm not talking about being lazy. I'm talking about slowing down the RPMs of your mind. If you're driving in a thick fog, do you speed up to get out of it? No. You slow down so you don't crash. When you feel that urge to blow up your progress, when you feel the fear kicking in, slow down. 1, spot the feeling, acknowledge the check engine light. Say to yourself, I'm feeling my programming right now. 2, don't touch the controls. Don't make the phone call. Don't send the text. Don't quit the gym. 3, wait for the weather to change. And it will change. It always does. The nature of thought is fluid. If you leave it alone, it flows. When the storm passes, and it might take 10 minutes or 2 hours, you will find your mood shifts. Your intellect will drop into your heart, and you'll get a clear idea. That is wisdom. Act on that. Stop waiting for permission to slow down. The clarity you're looking for is found in the silence between your thoughts, not in the noise of the grind. Don't die this way. Don't get to the end of your life having lived a fraction of your potential because you were scared of a special effects show in your own head. The market isn't stopping you. The economy isn't stopping you. Your potential is being capped because you're listening to the wrong voice. You're letting a ghost, your programming, drive your car. You can try to piece this together yourself. You can spend the next decade reading books and trying to hack your psychology, or you can collapse the timeline. I built the Identity Reboot coaching program for men who are done guessing. We don't install anything new. We don't give you a list of affirmations. We simply help you delete the malware. We help you strip away the misunderstanding so that your innate wisdom, the power that's already inside you, can run your own show. We help you reboot the system so you can live from the inside out. If you're ready to stop self-sabotaging and start living from your innate standard, click the link below and apply today. Start now. Don't wait for the perfect time. That's just another thought. I'll see you in the next one.